Loving Hands Community Care, Inc. is a nonprofit organization that provides support and aid to grieving families who have lost their children to gang violence and trauma in the Los Angeles area. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Watts Community Wellness Channel. My name is Shakayla Johnson, and I have a guest with us today, Kathryn Wooten. Today, we are discussing how we can cultivate some resiliency after losing a loved one. Today's topic is losing a loved one and how to continue being resilient and living your life. And today's guest is Kathryn Wooten. She is a founder of a beautiful organization in Watts, Los Angeles, California. And they provide wonderful services to mothers and fathers, or just mothers? To mothers
and fathers.
Mothers. She provides wonderful services to parents. And Kathy, can you just give us a brief history of your background and what you do in the community of Watts and how you started?
Yes. Hello, everybody. My name is Kathryn Wooten. I am a native of Watts, California. I raised my 6 children here, and now I'm helping raise my grandchildren. I started off doing gang intervention work back in 2008 after the death of my 2 oldest sons, Brandon and Keywan Bullard.
So what are some of the supportive services that you offer at Loving Hands?
Since then, I am a victims advocate now / interventionist, preventionist worker. And I started a nonprofit as a result of the death of my sons. And what I do is I provide services, group support for families of murdered victims, or if your child has died of any cause. I also have a yearly annual Mother's Day Luncheon, because I know how difficult it is to even think about celebrating on Mother's Day. But when you're surrounded by a group of other moms who know your pain, it makes it a lot less painful. And just trying to heal with somebody else instead of yourself is a great relief. I also do a support group once a month under the umbrella of Compassionate Friends, and we service parents, grandparents, and siblings. I also have an annual yearly camp retreat for siblings who have lost a sibling. We do Christmas and Thanksgiving food baskets, toy giveaway, and my target is families of murdered victims or families who have had a child die of any, or a parent die of any cause. I'm now trying to get started a support group for children who have lost parents. And I have a granddaughter who's 18 years old, and she is the daughter of my oldest son, Brandon, who passed away in 2008. And she would be the spearhead of that support group. I'm excited about getting started and watching the young people heal and grow together alongside the siblings, support systems and programs and stuff that they have in place. Just trying to be effective 2021 and on with our programs, and looking forward to feedback and people joining and reaching out for these services because they are here.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for letting us know what you do. It's really important that the community of Watts are able to access the services that we provide. So that's one of the reasons why we also started this podcast, is to bring on community leaders who are doing the work in Watson, helping others get through traumatic events. So I'm really appreciative that you're on today. Um, so can you just tell me a little bit about raising children in Watts? And if you grew up there, how was your childhood and stuff yourself?
Well, I had a pretty good childhood. A lot of opportunities, but having my own children taught me that you can raise your kids the right way and tell them all the right stuff, but they are going to decide their path and make their own mistakes and so on and so on. And so I had 5 boys and 1 girl, and so as you can imagine, my house was pretty active, pretty busy,
Yes.
with all their friends and cousins and nieces and nephews and stuff. But I say I think I did, as well as I could with trying to raise my sons in the community that I now serve. It's gang infested, uh, but it's a lot of love. It's a lot of unity. It was a lot of love and a lot of unity back when I was raising my kids. Even when I was being raised over there, was a lot of unity, a lot of love, and um, families was just close. As I began raising my own family, it still was some traditions like when I was growing up, but I did notice the change because now I went from raising little boys to teenagers to men, and somewhere along the way, they began to be affiliated with the gang. And so they were in church, they went to school, they got good grades, um, college prospects. I even had a few of my sons attend college. Um, but again, they decided to not all. Not all. One of my sons graduated from Nebraska University back in 2010, and I had my other son Kiwan, who passed away in 2008. Also went to Humboldt University for a few years, and my oldest son Brandon had an opportunity to go to any college in the world, um, but they decided other paths, and I just believe that their environment and the environment of my community and the thing that was going on overpowered what they was taught. Thank God that they still had and have values and morals. Um, but yeah, so as a result of those choices that they decided to make, um, caused them to lose their life.
Growing up, because you said that they had a lot of potential, and a few of them went to college. I was gonna go to Humboldt. Did they have programs that they were in, like when they were younger, that inspired them to like do some of these things, like after school programs or other kind of special?
You know what? Yes. I think it was a few things that inspired them, and I will say yes. We had guys from the community like Willie J. Well, we called this other guy who from the community that was a coach from the time my oldest son was like 8, probably younger than that, 8 years old, and he's now deceased, of course, but he would be like 38 now. But these guys that I grew up with, that's like around my age, I watched them coach the kids in my community. And like I said, Willie J, Nut, Reginald Sims, Frank Miles, uh, Cowboy. It's a few. It's a few more. I can't think of their names off the top of my head. But I can recall them, being at that gym, with all of our kids from that community, from basketball season to football season, soccer, whatever sport was going on. So I think that started the inspiration. And then as my younger sons watched my older sons excel on the football field when they were in high school, and playing Pop Warner was also an inspiration for my younger sons, especially the one that graduated from Nebraska. And then I have a younger son, Patrick, who graduated from Sarah High School, who went on to Western New Mexico, had a few challenges, and then he wound up coming back to Santa Monica. Then he went back to another university in Oklahoma. So if I had to say what was their most inspiration, I would have to say it was my older sons. They wanted to please their older brothers. And unfortunately, my son, Ricky Chenoris, the one that graduated from Nebraska, was in his college doing so well when my sons were killed, because they was killed so closely together, 52 days apart exactly. And my son Ricky was in college at the time. So once that happened, he went back to school, and he still excelled, and he tried as best he could to stay focused. But I can only imagine his struggle, because I haven't lost a sibling. So he did graduate, and he did go off to play professional football with the Seattle Seahawks for a minute. And so, but the trauma and the stress of losing a sibling, and it was kind of overwhelming for him. But
yeah.
So yeah.
I can only imagine.
Mm-hmm.
So when did you realize that the community of Watts needed the work that you now offer?
Probably after the death of my sons. I want to say before that, because I watched them while they were affiliated with the gang lifestyle. So I knew it needed to happen. I knew it needed some, we needed some help then, but it wasn't as profound as it was after they died. I guess I figured they were going to figure it out. And it's funny because my oldest son, Brandon, was also trying to be, he was being introduced to intervention work through Pete Carroll, which is the head coach of Seattle Seahawks. He had a program called A Better LA. And I think what he was trying to do was get the attention, and he did get the attention. Not tried. Got the attention of these young men in these communities that was like the leaders of their peers are, and he got in their head about, just changing their lifestyle and their way of thinking. And my son was a part of that. And I'll never, ever forget how grateful and appreciative I was when I seen my son in that capacity. And I believe that in the midst of all of that, he was Pete Carroll and his team of people that he had helping him had started changing the mindset of our young people in a positive way. And my two sons got killed in the process of that progress. And after that is when I began to start the Mother's Day Luncheon, start support groups and stuff like that. I have not. My son died in January the 27th, and my other son died March 19th. And in May of the same year, I was given a Mother's Day Luncheon.
Oh,
And so
wow.
I have not stopped with the annual Mother's Day Luncheon, the support groups, and other things that the organization is doing. So I haven't, I haven't stopped. I've been going. So I think that after the death of my two sons, uh, opened my eyes to understand the severity of our community and the help that we need.
So, what are some of the things you've done over the years to stay resilient since the passing of your sons?
The Mother's Day Luncheon is probably my most inspired, my most precious um, gift um, that I want to give back to my community. Um, the support groups, of course, um, it's always an honor. It's just so unfortunate that the support groups, every month you meet a new mom who lost her child. And it's unfortunate that even with the Mother's Day Luncheon, I do special gift baskets for the new moms who come in. It's been 13 years, and every single year I meet new moms who have lost a child, anywhere between, it could be anywhere between 10 to 40 new moms who have lost a child within the year before we get back to our next Mother's Day. I'm a man people. And it's just unfortunate that I had to meet them under these circumstances. Um, but if I had to say anything, it would be my Mother's Day Luncheon is the most effective, um, I think, event that Loving Hands does.
Hmm. Um, the support, I think, is like the most important thing for any kind of tragedy or issue, because I feel like when something happens traumatic, you might feel alone or lonely, and
Mm-hmm.
just having that support and other people knowing what you're going through and you guys
Mm-hmm.
can discuss it is really important for healing. So I
Yeah.
really appreciate that you have these opportunities for mothers to
Yeah.
come together
Yeah.
to help
And you
each
know
other.
what? It's not always, I try to make the environment um, as encouraging and happy as I can. But of course, we have our uh, our time where it's very emotional.
Hmm.
Um, it's a lot of crying, but it's also a lot of laughter and a lot of healing. So I just I'm just excited about the Mother's Day event every year because I say this every year. I say this one was the best one, but they all have been amazing. And the last year we had to do it on Zoom, of course. And I was so worried about that because I didn't know how it was going to turn out. The good thing is I was able to bring in other moms from all over the world instead of just Los Angeles. And
Yeah.
now I communicate back and forth with a few of my moms from other states. But but they never, they haven't been able to come into LA to participate with the Mother's Day Luncheon, but they was able to participate last year. And a few of them won a few things. I just had to mail it to them. But it was good. And so I'm excited about this year's Mother's Day Luncheon. It will be in May, probably May 9th.
What advice would you give a parent or parents who have recently lost a child or a loved one?
Whoa. Call me. Seriously though, my phone, can I call my phone number out?
Oh yes, social media, all that.
Okay, my phone number on my phone is always open. It does not matter what time or day it is. You can call me. You're gonna have to go through your process with it, because I think everybody grieve different. But just know that it's people here, it's people out there that have your back, that will pray with you, or just listen and cry with you, or just listen. And you don't have to go through this journey alone. I know you might have your days where you need to go through it alone. We all do. But just know that when you come out of that phase where you have to feel like you have to be alone and you don't want nobody, that we'll be here. We'll be here for you. You can contact me by phone, 323-385-1457. Or you can reach me at lovinghandscommunitycare.org. That's my website, lovinghandscommunitycare.org. You can find out all the information on there as well. You can catch me on Facebook. My personal Facebook page will be Chevette or Loving Hands Community Care. Either page. Instagram, Loving Hands Community Care. Twitter, Loving Hands Community Care. We are here, ready to serve you and help you in any way that we can.
Thank you so much. I'm also going to insert all of your social media and your contact information at the end of this, so people can also get it from there.
And if it's not recent, it could be years ago, whatever.
Yes, so she provides supportive services to anyone who has lost a loved one or child. And I'm just grateful that she came on today to bless us with some of her story, how she started Loving Hands and how she is supporting, continuing to support the community of Watts, and how that's helped her stay strong and resilient during this time. So yeah, thank you all for joining us today. Like I said, all of Miss Kathy's information will be at the end of this podcast or at the end of this video, so anyone can get in contact with her. And like she said, call her if you are in need of some help and you need to reach out to someone. That is what her beautiful organization is for, to help people who have gone through a tragedy like this and help them to build their resiliency.